And we are back in the new year live with the Blame Girl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we got Sweet Feet Q in the house this year, starting the year off. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I hope you're having a very happy new year. Terry, what have you been up to?
Oh, it's just family and that kind of stuff. I live a slower life now.
How are the holidays for you?
It was good. I enjoyed having the break from the podcasts, and just, well, not just this one. I got the other one. I got the other one too. So it's a twice a week thing. So it was nice to have a little bit of a break, and I cooked a lot, obviously.
Tell me what you made.
I got a new lasagna recipe that I made for Christmas. Where homemade lasagna noodles, where I make the noodles myself, and then I use like a bechamel sauce instead of ricotta. And I gotta admit, it's pretty awesome.
What's bechamel versus ricotta? I think you've told me once before.
It just if you've ever had lasagna and those little crumbly pieces that kind of fall off, the crumbly white pieces. Yeah. That's ricotta, because ricotta dries out in the oven, so it gets all crumbly like that. Bechamel stays creamy. So if you've ever had like a really good mac and cheese at a restaurant that stays creamy even when it gets cold, that's because they used a bechamel instead of like just cheese and milk.
Chef Terry.
But I did.
You don't even know.
I did that with like a layer of fresh basil that I grew, and I made two big lasagnas for the family get together, and they cleaned me out. I mean,
till this restaurant gets started, boo. You need to do Italian, because I already told you you're help me out. What's the name of that dish?
Bolognese.
The bolognese.
Bologna? I thought it was bologna.
No, bolognese.
Well, there is a bologna, but bolognese is
okay.
Bolognese is actually
y'all got to teach me.
Actually,
meat sauce. And it's so good.
Actually, he's kind of right, because Bolognese is named that because it started in an Italian city called Bologna. So he's kind of right without even trying.
All right. So Terry did some good cooking. We got a new book out yet, or any content you want to promote? Okay.
No, very important meetings this week though. So we'll see what happens.
I can't wait.
Might have big news next week.
So. All right. So what are you drinking? Soup?
No, this is no, this is actually African red rooibos tea.
You're very exotic. You're growing basil. You're drinking African,
and that's after moving back to Tennessee.
Actually, it's because I'm doing dry January, so this stuff is this actually has a lot of good properties, and not to mention it's delicious. It tastes like vanilla. Naturally, you don't have to put sugar in it or anything. No sugar, no honey. It just tastes great by itself, but it also lowers your blood pressure and helps your complexion. Like it's good stuff.
You're glowing right now. You're glowing.
Yeah.
That's the dry January, man.
Come on, I thought it was the light.
Stay off the sauce.
I was wrong. This man eating bologna, drinking African
tea. Some of us can't stay off the sauce because we're out here in the comedy clubs. I don't know what to tell you.
I can't. Yeah. Oh, it sucks. It sucks on days like today because the Dolphins got a big game tonight. Tennessee could be a spoiler for Jacksonville today. So
no one cares.
I do. Well, what I'm saying is I do, because I'm going to go.
I care about that. Yeah, damn Giovanni. Yeah, I'm with you.
What I was trying to say was it's tough because I'm going to go to my brother-in-law's house tonight and watch the Dolphin game, and everybody's going to be drinking beer, and I'm going to be like, damn it, That's the part.
But you're going to be looking good. You're going to be glowing. Your complexion. It's off the chain right now.
I feel that. I feel like I want to make myself look better this year. I'm a little chubby, and although I'm still fine. Let's be clear.
Okay.
But I'm a little chubby. But yeah, I'm 44. It's time to take care of ourselves, right, Terry?
Get some of this tea, man. You can get it on Amazon. It's great.
Say the name of it, and
I will.
All right. Sweet VQ, how was your holidays?
Holidays is great, man.
You do it, and specifically, I want to know about your holidays, but you do any fun shows you want to talk about or anything?
Yeah, I did a show. I opened up for Fat and Funny. down at G5 Strip Club,
He get
Miami.
fat and funny on this damn podcast one day.
Yeah, we'll get him on, man. We'll get him on. But opened up for him. It was cool. A lot of ass and titties walking around because we're in G5.
What's G5?
G5 is a strip club
Okay.
owned by Uncle Luke down in Miami. So they have.
They've gone to that.
Come on, I'm going on the 27th.
For a
27th we're back. Yeah, 27th we back. Shout out to Pookie F Baby. Putting on the show. 27th we back at G5. Come on, man, have a good time.
And you can also throw me up if you feel like it, Pookie. I don't know.
Yeah, Pookie, shout out, man. Holla at Blame Girl, man.
All right. What else did you do? I know you got kids.
Yeah,
everybody got such great names, by the way. You know, Fat and Funny, Pookie, Sweet Feet. Like I want a name like that.
Terry. I know you're not.
I know.
Tennessee.
They
Okay.
T Wayne.
Tennessee, yeah,
T Wayne, Terry. You T Wayne now.
T Wayne. All right, T Wayne. Got it. I'm gonna have to start using the what do they call it? The what is it where it fixes your voice?
The auto tune.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to use the auto tune for T Wayne. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what else do this holiday?
Spent time with family. My daughter. We had an amazing time. Got her tennis rackets and a keyboard, and we got drums and a mic now. So we had concerts every day, and just hung out. You know, I just enjoyed this break. I slept a lot, took naps. I don't usually take naps.
You didn't have to work.
No. School teaching.
Yeah.
I'm still off. Shout out to the school district.
Still off. Damn. All right. You go back to work or what?
Do the kids know about the Sweet Feet?
Yeah. Kids know about yeah. They found me on Instagram. I got a couple, you know, I wear some of my merch and they found me on Instagram.
So the school board's okay with that, but these women can't have an OnlyFans. I don't understand.
I ain't showing dick, Terry. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a crime of moral turpitude to do comedy.
Well, these kids ain't supposed to be on OnlyFans anyway. It's the age limit. You ain't got a credit card. You ain't supposed to have a credit card. You get mom's credit card.
All right. It's time to talk about me. Blame Girl.
Nobody cares.
We're all here.
And your OnlyFans that the kids they showed me actually.
Yeah. Get your mom's credit card. Go see Blame Girl.
Blame Girl.
Anyway,
go see Blame Titties.
I'm not a teacher, so it don't matter who sees it.
Anymore. You're not a teacher anymore.
When it comes to it, fuck you, baby. Just give me money on there. It helps. So my holidays were, they were nice. It was like a lot of partying up until Christmas, but I didn't go to Texas for Christmas, so it was kind of like a quiet Christmas. My birthday,
happy birthday, happy belated.
December. Did we have a podcast? Anyway, it don't matter.
But no, we
didn't. There was a big party. I did a few big shows. I think I did Sad Man's show. Sad Man, I got the shirt on today. And that's a nice new room. When I was there, though, they had on the screen there was Bill Burr's podcast, right? And Sad Man goes, he mentioned the Sad Man Cafe on there, and I was like, okay, whatever. I did not believe him. And bitch, he did, because the guest that he had on the podcast was going to be there coming up for New Year's. So the guest mentioned it on there, on Bill Burr. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, wow.
That's great. I love hearing when my local comics or people I know get mentioned on these big things that I listen to, because I listen to the Monday Morning Podcast and I listen to YMH. And every once in a while, somebody will get mentioned that I know. And I'm like, I know that guy. Like Elf.
Like just 1 degree of separation, right? And then I got to do the fucking bad bitch brunch. And that was, wow. I recommend you definitely get to one of those if you like women and like women going wild.
I've seen clips of that.
We went wild.
Yeah. That
was... well, unless you don't like bad bitches, then stay away, because I think...
If you don't
you're gonna be triggered.
1, you're a hater, and then 2, you're like probably not fun.
Well, maybe you just like nice bitches,
Right.
I will say this:
your girls have fun too,
but you ain't gotta hate on the bad ones, right?
Yeah, you gotta hate on them.
Oh no, I just said stay away because there's bad bitches there.
I did a set at the Miami Improv, and my boobs were showing. They had pasties, but they were out, and you can if you want to see it, it's posted on OnlyFans. If you want to see that set and this set, okay? So
Blame girl, right?
it's Blame Girl XXX. Don't do it in front of me though.
Oh, okay. Let me turn this way so you...
Yeah.
Hey, support guys. It's
Mm.
a $10 video. That's FYI. Don't ask me why I charge so much.
Mm.
All right. So, and then yeah, New Year's. We're happy to be back, and we got some shit to talk about. Shit was going down over the fucking break.
Yes.
First of all, I want a 26-year-old Black woman. You tried to burn down MLK's home, guys. Who's to blame? Why did this happen, Sweet Feet?
Man, go to
I just want to say one thing. I didn't hear about this. My wife heard about this, and whenever she hears about a good story, she thinks, so I'll like or it'll be good on here. She sends it to me. She goes, some lady tried to burn down MLK's birth home, and I was like, that's crazy. And then she's like, I'll send it to you, and I said, okay. And then a second later, I go, watch it be some black broad, and she goes, it is. And I said, I was kidding. I was kidding because I was thinking like some Trump supporting Karen or something, but nope. 26-year-old Black girl just gonna burn down MLK's house. I don't get it.
Why do you think that is, guys? Because he was a cheater. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Candace Owens?
Come on,
I don't
man.
know. Did Candace Owens finally get her way?
Is that right? Candace sent them. That's what it was.
Kanye, maybe Kanye's to blame. I don't know.
She got Black name too.
Come on, I don't get it. You know, maybe
her family said she was having a mental health crisis.
You think?
So I think the blame here is gonna absolutely lie with our mental health system in America.
We can't blame everything on mental health. She
well, no.
Why she didn't, you know, do the plantation on her house? Why she ain't?
Because she's mentally ill.
Right.
Well,
so
here's
historically Black shit. That's terrible.
I am all in on the mental health thing because if you watch the video, when the guy walks up and goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "You know," and just whatever. Like no attempts to change anything. She's just like, you know, it's Saturday afternoon. I'm doing what I do. You know?
Come on.
Yeah, she acting like it's no big deal. I just. Like you know how you burn down a house on Saturday afternoon? That's what happens. You know, we do what we do.
Within a historical.
I'm thinking this ain't her first arson. You know,
she looked.
You know, throwing the gas all around the house.
No, it's the mental health. Our mental healths are breaking down. You got a fucked up economy. You got race relations that are terrible. You got men and women relations that are terrible.
No, it's these algorithms.
You got no health care. You got the algorithms on top of that, and all that fine has a Black woman trying to burn down MLK's home.
Listen, gas prices are high. She had one of them, you know what I'm saying? She had a big can of gas. I don't know. Yeah, she got to be crazy.
I'm just saying.
I'm not wasting no gas.
He was a cheater, so.
Oh, yeah, she immediately goes to the man.
Allegedly.
Well, here's another part. Here's another thing.
Okay, apologist. What?
Here's another thing that if you watch that video, she's spilling it all over herself. So if she lights it, she going up with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, so she's obviously not in her. She ain't in her right mind.
2024, Terry.
But when you're having a mental health crisis, you will waste gas. Is what I'm saying. So
you will burn yourself alive trying to accomplish your goal. That's what
they should have just let her light the shit on fire just to see her.
She was with Hamas. Okay, I'll stop.
All right. Put it away. We already done that Israel Hamas thing too much. We kicked that horse to death.
You know what other horse has been kicked to death, and I'm here for it. I'm still talking about it, and that was that Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. Okay, Cat Williams
good.
Has beef with Cedric the Entertainer over stealing a joke, and multiple other comedians at that. Who's to blame, guys? I know you probably both watched it. Team Cat, not Team Cat.
I'm Team Cat, man. Cat, listen, this is the thing to me. No one has came on and said that Cat was lying. Nobody. In the last week, there's no one came on and said, "Oh, Cat's not telling the truth."
Cat was definitely lying about reading books in his.
Yeah, he was lying about that.
But
he was definitely lying about that.
Terry,
But
what do you think? Making all the faces over there. What do you think?
Oh no, I'm sharing, but
Yeah.
I think that this is a problem that doesn't. It's not just Cedric and Kat. I mean, this comes around every couple of years with comedians. You know, at some point, you just got to accept the fact that once your jokes are out there, they're out there, and you also got to accept the fact that just because you think of an idea on a premise doesn't mean that you own that. So I think that joke stealing is a very fine edge to walk, because there's a difference between shared thinking and joke stealing. If I put I'm just saying, hang on one second. If I put 5 comics in 5 different rooms by themselves and then walked in there and gave each one of them a premise, I guarantee you at least 2 of them are going to take the same road. They're not going to be word for word, but they're going to have the same thought. If I go in there and say, all right, write me a joke on airline food or whatever the premise is, and I give it to all 5 of them, and it's all, they're all separated, at least 2 of them are going to come up with, the same idea. So there is a line.
Two of them are going to say Spirit Airlines for sure.
Exactly. They're going to come up, well, because there's tropes, and there's, ground that's already been treaded, and there's common thinking. The greatest example of joke thievery and how to deal with it is, I think, with Louis C.K. Louis C.K. had a bit stolen from him by Dennis Leary, and it wasn't just a bit. It was, I'm an asshole and I own it bit, which turned out to be a career-making bit for Dennis Leary. It's the whole reason he's famous, is because that I'm an asshole song that was so popular in the early 90s. Well, that's a stolen bit from Louis. But what did he do? He just went, all right, and just kept going, because he knew at the end of the day, comedy finds out and the water levels out. Now now everybody thinks Dennis Leary's an actor. They've forgotten the fact that he started as a stand-up, and Louis is considered one of the greatest stand-ups to ever do it. So, the water balances out.
I think I think it's funny that you bring up the joke stealing or whatever and the premise and this and that, because like I saw a comedian, like I do a bidet joke, right? And of course I don't have the capitalized on the bidet joke, but I saw him do my joke, well, something similar to my joke on Kill Tony, and I lost my mind, because you just feel like, he's like on this more famous platform and just doing it, and not as good as me, by the way. And I didn't like it. But you're right. You don't, like, it happens.
Yeah.
It was spaceships, and for Cedric it was whatever.
Colin Jost read one of my jokes on Weekend Update a few years ago on Saturday Night Live. I was like, oh my God. And do you know what I did? I stopped telling that joke. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's got the bigger platform. I don't think they stole it from me. I think it was an easy, cheap joke that I wrote in my first year of comedy. And I think that they ended up in the same place by walking the same path that I did. I don't think anybody from Saturday Night Live looked at my old tweets and was like, take that. And then, I mean, it's just kind of shared thinking.
They do that, I think, because when I got on Twitter at first, Liz Winstead, she was a writer for The Daily Show. She started following me, and then I started hearing little stuff that I would put on Twitter on there, and I was like, okay. I wasn't even a comedian then. I was like, oh my God, I think I gave her an idea. That's all I thought about it. But if it would happen now, yeah, I would feel kind of slighted, but you just get over it and you move on, like Louis did.
Well, it kind of means that you're popping at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if somebody wants to steal your material or your joke, then it has to be good. It has to be funny. So, rather it's kind of flattering, but it'll piss you off at the same time, because that's your intellectual property, and you worked hard on that, and somebody's just gonna come and take it. And usually it's people that have a bigger platform than you that take your joke.
Yeah. And then you'll feel, because if they don't, you can either confront them or hate them from afar, like I tend to do.
Well, Jay Leno, who was a great stand-up, was asked about joke thieves, and he says, "What?" And they said, "What do you do if somebody steals your joke?" And he goes, "Oh, that's just motivation for me to write a better joke." So he's like, I just use that as motivation. Oh, you're gonna
So
steal
with
this
that
little
said,
joke from me? Wait till I go back to the lab and come back with this next thing. You know?
with that said, let's just talk about the interview as a whole, because just the beef with Cedric ain't even half of it. I mean, he went after so many comics. What did y'all think about that? And Hollywood.
I think it was genius. Almost.
Why?
Like, when is the last time you heard about Cat Williams or anybody's talked about him?
Yeah, true.
So now
I don't
you
think
go
When
so.
he
you
when he
go
was
on-
on crack.
right. What, that was years ago or yesterday?
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
said he never did
When it
drugs. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said,
Yeah, and then he also I'm on a clear mind and everything, but he didn't took 4 shots of the Shay, wrong. Yeah, I don't.
Anybody who says I'm on a clear mind has definitely done drugs at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. That's how you know your mind clear.
Yeah, because oh, my mind's clear now. It used to be all jumping around on crack, but
man,
But I think it was kind of genius because now everybody is talking about him. They had like 9 million views in one day, so it's kind of like, yes, these comics have to respond.
yeah.
Or they're gonna get looked at as non-joke writers or whatever he set the narrative to be. So I think it was a good marketing scheme. He does have a
Yeah, they probably
something on
did.
Netflix right now that just popped up like last week. So this is good promotion for him.
They
Maybe I'll
probably
go
did
watch
it together. They
Maybe I'll
probably
give
did
it,
it
but like
together.
maybe I'll go watch it because I don't. I'll be honest. Cat Williams not up there for me. Like I don't know why. I think he's more like of a personality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's writing material, telling these really funny jokes. It's like his act outs and stuff that make people laugh, and that I like listening to jokes. Written jokes. So
Well, his first major special was very good. I can't remember the name of it, but
I remember the first one, but I just
Yeah.
after that it is not. I've had 19 specials. That's
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think Gio hit the nail on the head. He's more of a personality. When I look at comedians and I try to judge them on an artistic level, I'm saying, okay, yeah, you're funny because you're doing this or that, but is there anything insightful in your writing? Is there a point behind it? Or are you just coming up with something clever that's going to make people laugh? Or is there anything underneath it? Are you making some kind of commentary?
And I realized this when I did the Florida's Funniest this year. I did that competition, and then somebody was really late, and they came in last minute, and they go last, and they're someone I've never even heard of before. But he's a personality. He didn't tell no jokes. He just got the crowd,
Yeah.
And I mean, that's people that are like, "Oh, I'm naturally funny." Yeah, you are, but can you write a joke like for a sitcom or for a skit, or I guess you could do a skit, but is it just all outs that's carrying you, or do you have some substance behind the
Jordan Garnett? I love him to death, but he's a personality. He's not writing insightful jokes. He does mainly crowd work, and he's a happy guy. Like he's the fun guy at the party. He's he's the wild friend you got. He's a personality, but there's nothing underneath. Like, just to give you an example, that cancer joke that I opened with for so long, the reason why I do that joke is because I hate when audiences just give cheap applause. Like, oh, well, it's my birthday next week. Oh, you don't give a fuck. It's his birthday. You know what I mean? Stop giving. Yeah. I've been married for 15 years this year. Oh, you don't give a fuck about his marriage, So I wrote that joke because I wanted to make the audience feel stupid for applauding for something. So I was like, yeah, my dad's, as of today, he's officially cancer free. Oh, well, I mean, he's never had it. I'm just still really excited about that. Now, don't you feel stupid for clapping like seals? Like, yeah. But it's because I was angry about that led me to that joke. And that's what I look for in other comics when I watch their material. I'm like, what are you really trying to say here? Anyway.
What I've been thinking about too and having a discussion with is, like you said, being comedic, like having jokes, writing jokes, and being funny. But it's like, what does the audience want to see?
Yeah.
Like, I know as a comic, it kind of offends some people. Like, come on, like tell some jokes. But at the same time, if they got the crowd roaring,
yeah,
they did a.
You're there to entertain overall, but I think it sets apart comics that are gonna do stand up over and over again. Well, maybe not, because Cat Williams, like we were saying, he's a personality.
He still sells it out.
Those types of
Every show.
people usually they're actors. They're acting. Go act. They don't
Mm.
tend to do the stage after they get those jobs. Like Steve Harvey, he couldn't write his own jokes. Clearly, according to Cat Williams, Cedric the Entertainer couldn't write his own jokes. You don't see neither one of them doing stand up no more.
Oh, Steve Harvey, when he was really in the stand-up zone, and I'm talking Kings of Comedy era, I mean, Steve Harvey was a killer. He was a killer on stage.
Right. Steve Harvey, I remember Steve Harvey from Def Comedy Jam and him doing that eyeball joke. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That's how I remember him. But I definitely
all of them.
I miss Bernie Mac. Like,
yeah, Bernie Mac, his Def Jam show where he's like, y'all don't scare me. And that you some of my bitch. Yeah, like yeah.
I remember
oh my God,
man. Stir like
it's like his personality and the way he just says things.
Yeah.
It's just gonna have you cracking up.
Well, no. But like during that particular set, when there was a rough crowd and everybody was dying and getting booed off stage, and then he walked out there and he's like, y'all don't scare me. It was like being at that open mic. It was like being at Swamp Grass. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's like, you're only going to survive tonight if you nut up and go out there and face these lions and with some attacking nature. It was inspiring to watch.
It's like, remember the Apollo, like how they'd be like there, like you gotta.
Yeah. Again, Steve Harvey.
Black people are unforgiving.
Yeah, you can't really say anything about the black comedy world in the 90s or in the early 2000s without mentioning Steve Harvey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or Cat
between early 2000s
from comedy guys, but we got to talk about Epstein. I went
down
a rabbit hole yesterday.
Here we go.
The goddamn list is out. Cat Williams was right. Chris Tucker was on the list. Y'all, the list is out.
Shit. No, that's Smokey.
And it's
just rush hour. Rush hour Smokey coming through.
Was gonna be on the list.
Yep.
Who's to blame? Anybody, first of all, did y'all see anybody surprising on that? Did anybody? I'll tell you
I heard Whoopi Goldberg was on the list.
I didn't see her name, but I saw
she had to clear name up on the View and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I saw Michael Jackson on
nasty.
Michael Jackson was a big one. I thought that was pretty crazy.
I was like,
we all knew that. But I ain't
because like
too. See, that was different. I thought he just had girls.
Well, Epstein's Island is all about.
Boys on anyway. That's
what I'm saying. They were all about young girls on Epstein's Island. What MJ gonna do there? He got nothing. He got nothing to do there.
He had boys there because he had to satisfy everyone's proclivities, so he could get information on them.
Right. That's great.
And so there's some.
I guarantee you, every room in that house is bugged for sound and video. Like that's the whole point.
Found out, right?
The whole point of flying them there was
the list. I want to know who's on the videos with minors.
Well, let's say this. Let's say that you were there and you didn't partake in the sexual activity with the minors. Are you just as guilty as them motherfuckers who was?
No, because here's the thing. Jeffrey Epstein was a multi.
Yes, you're just as guilty. You got to tell on him.
Okay, it's not about telling. Listen.
But then you're there with all these other.
I don't know.
Bill Clinton's there. You're like, well, there ain't nobody gonna care.
You know,
okay.
Just social. You know,
I'm gonna respond now, just to let you know, so you're warned. So you don't jump in again. Jeffrey Epstein was a multi-billionaire financier. So, like, if you wanted to get somebody invested in your project, if you want to do something, all roads were going to lead back. There ain't but so many multi-billionaires in this country, you know? So if you wanted to get back there, sometimes you got to do business with dirty folks, you know? That's just what it is. That's the reality of the situation. I think a couple of people definitely got hurt by the Epstein thing where they can't get away from it, like Prince Philip of the royal family. He can't get away from it. And this latest documentation that came out where it quote unquote said somebody referred it to Bill Clinton in those documents, said, well, Clinton likes them young. And it's like, oh, that's hard to get away from, bud. That's not just
talking about hands of turkeys.
Yeah, no. That's not just I rode on his plane. That's not just I was at his villa in the island. That's That's an order. You know what I mean? Like that's on
order.
somebody's menu, and it's like he likes them young. All right. That's like saying, well, he
Bill's
likes
here at
his,
16, 17.
yeah,
I think what was
no, he
funny-
likes his steak medium rare. Oh, and he likes them young too.
I
Yeah.
think what was wild is that Alan Dershowitz is all up in it, and he's trying to act like we need to drop the list so my name can be cleared. I don't see how this clears his name at all.
Well, he was listed on there like over 115 times or something.
Or something.
Yeah, I know, but he's got good reason. It's like when cops go to investigate a murder. If it's okay for your fingerprints to be in the house, if your fingerprints are supposed to be in the house. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. We're here. Sorry.
You lost your picture.
That was we were just discussing something behind the scenes.
Oh, sure. Nobody cares.
He pops a cigarette. You know what?
Hmm.
You can step to the side if you want.
Is she afraid to do anything on this podcast?
Yeah, I don't. You can do whatever, but I know you're a teacher. So.
No. Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
you're for good. So you might.
Yeah. Yeah, forget about this medical weed that's licensed to me and completely legal. But whatever.
Anyway,
I'm more concerned with you drinking beer before noon on a Sunday.
Hey, come on.
it's noon here.
Hey, it's game day, baby.
It's noon here.
I was just gonna say, if I was at a tailgate, I'd have been 4 or 5 beers deep by now. So
Come
it's
on.
fine.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this about Jeffrey Epstein's Island. I probably would if I was like a celebrity and got invited to some rich shit.
Yeah. You go.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going. What?
And
no,
I'm
Private
gonna
jet.
say that.
You
no,
gotta fly
at
out.
the time,
Come
you
on.
get there and you see children being sexually exploited. Call this nigga out to his face. One.
How do you know though?
But what?
He
How do you
might
know?
have- he
Brother,
might
no,
have-
no, no.
Not
How
on
do
his-
we know
not
their
on his side.
ages?
Yeah, exactly. They don't wear
if
them
I
on
just
a
come up there and
badge.
I see a girl, she might look young. Okay,
ID her.
whatever. But
If you think she
when
looks
have you
young,
ever ID'd anybody at a party?
I don't go for young people like that.
Understood.
whatever,
But this
whatever.
Was, we gotta think
I go for
about it.
grown
This
men.
was what, years ago, correct? And then at the same time, like I don't walk around, I don't go into a club and see a young lady and be like, oh, she looks young. Hey, what's up? Let me get your ID. Let me see if you're 18 or not before or
Maybe you
whatever.
should.
Hey, and by the
And
way,
And
By the way-
That's just weird.
and then Epstein was on that he was holding those girls hostage at that island. Like he would
well, that's the bigger.
How they
Obviously,
gonna get
that's
out
the
of there?
bigger
They broke, they
issue.
don't got money.
That's the bigger issue,
Oh,
obviously. But if you see a hot young woman, there's almost no way to tell if she's 19 or 16. So I'll give leeway on that. However, I also want to say that I feel like men of a particular age have been far too stigmatized about being attracted to younger women because that's the way it's supposed to be naturally. Like I'm supposed to be attracted to young, beautiful creatures. That's what I'm supposed to be attracted to. The thing that I would think is the real perversion is the young women that are attracted to older men. You're not supposed to be that. You're not a 22-year-old girl who says, yeah, I like that daddy energy. Some 40-year-old guy. Like you're not supposed to. Something.
Oh, look at those
I'm not
grays.
perverted.
that's
Those
bullshit.
grays are so sexy.
No, listen, wait, hang on.
That's
Let me
stupid.
let me finish.
Why do
let
we
me
have to
finish.
ask you?
Let me
Just
finish
can't-
before you get up on your soapbox. Let me finish. Okay. I'm just saying that to me, in my brain, a 40-year-old man looks at a 25-year-old sexy woman and is attracted to her. That makes sense. A 25-year-old sexy woman that looks at a 40-year-old man and is attracted to that, to me, that seems bananas.
Well,
You
if
should be attracted to 25-year-old dudes.
The 40-year-old man represents, in her mind, security, but as a 40-year-old woman, I know that that's some bullshit, right? Like,
Exactly. So
that's
don't
what-
shame us for being attracted to what we are when you don't want to be shamed for
Let me say
being
this.
attracted to what you are.
Let me say this. I'm not one of the people that shame people for, but if it's like this thing that you're seeking out and you're waiting on these girls to turn of age so you can fucking manipulate them and groom them.
Like
and
girls are waiting on a millionaire to come around, same thing, like that.
Like,
Like, oh, come on, daddy, with that millionaire money, you know?
You're
Fuck outta
like,
here.
Spit out my beer, man. Stop.
but
Thank you.
but they're
Oh, I got a
exploiting-
spit take. A
Let me
spit
finish.
take's great.
They're exploiting a grown man, whereas the man they're exploiting children that are growing up. and they're grooming.
Children, 25-year-old woman's children.
No, I'm talking about when you're grooming these celebrities, right? Grooming these 15, 16-year-olds, maybe sleeping with them, but saying they're
I
not
wasn't-
until they're 18. That's
I
what
wasn't
I'm
talking about kids. Was I talking about kids?
You said
Be-
young.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were
I
just
said
talking about
22.
that.
I said
You were talking
25.
about kids.
I said 22. I said 25. And this hits me where I live because you know me, Gio. I was 35 dating a 22-year-old. And then I mean, I'm married to a woman who's 11 years younger than me. So it hits me right where I live. I'm like, I'm being attracted to what I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Terry got
You
that
just-
money, dog. You hear him?
Yeah, you got to get
Terry
it.
got that money.
No.
Why do you think I work so hard? I work so hard so I can.
Very
I'm just
like-
saying nobody shames the women, and I think that that's ridiculous. If you're going to shame me, shame her too. That's all.
What?
For being gross.
Right, right.
For being gross.
Hey, they set
Okay?
this up.
Well, you groomed her.
you know
Why? Like,
What do you mean I groomed her?
Yeah,
I didn't
we-
groom anybody.
I'm
We
just
ain't
telling
groomed.
you why we can't attack women because they are groomed to like by the older guys. Like you're groomer.
Not really.
The
If
person
I'm
I'm talking
with-
about, the person I'm talking about pursued me. I didn't even get her number. She found me on Facebook.
Come
Come
on.
on.
Say, she seduced me.
Exactly. Terry got that
And then
look.
I didn't say she seduced me. I said she pursued me.
You were gonna say seduced. I
It-
heard
it-
it.
it-
was on the
Mm-mm.
tip.
It's kind of like this. If
No,
I'm with
I
a
can't be
young
seduced.
Man that's 40 and older, and we go to a club, we get a section, we got a couple bottles, sparklers coming out. That's gonna attract the young girls,
So
and
I
they're
did.
gonna come over
And,
to our
and here's the
section,
thing.
And
So
that's
I
not
I'll
my
did.
fault.
So I did it.
And here's the thing.
Damn, for
I
what? Y'all in
know.
the same club. The club owners did
You're
not
right.
do it?
You're right.
And here's the thing. In my head, I know that this young, beautiful thing is not attracted to my 40-year-old beer gut, right? She's not. She's attracted to what I got and what I can give her.
This and then that, yeah.
No, it's the money that pays for the sparklers. Everybody knows them sparklers ain't cheap.
And let me just say this: you got Shira 7 out here teaching us women, our Lord and Savior Shira 7, how to be gold diggers. So yes, now it's in hyperdrive. These
Yeah.
girls are coming for your money, and that's why you got wait, let me finish. That's why you got the Red Pill podcast. They're like, oh, we wanted traditional women. Guess what, bitch? Traditional women went after your resources. So this is the resource. All right.
Hey, I'm just happy I locked down a
If I
good one
got
who
'em,
also
you
happens to
can't
be
be
young.
mad at me because I want to use them on these.
Okay. We know.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Mm.
using.
He
But
likes
anyway,
sugar.
but I tell you this: it's not only Sheer 7, it's the music that's out here too. What the City Girls all about.
Yeah.
So on the
Hoeing.
radio, right, and on the radio, that's all you hear. So I'm
Um,
riding with my daughter.
Sexy Red,
Come on, what they talking about? Getting money.
Rich Baby Daddy.
Oh,
All
right.
right.
So these women are being trained
Good.
to target. Right, good. But when it happens, then it's like, oh, it's the man's fault.
I like that she said good. She said
Well,
good when
right.
a woman does it to a man, but when a man does it
Yeah,
to a
man,
young
that's
woman,
right,
it's
Terry.
bad.
I'm
It's
with
bad.
you,
It's so bad.
I guess y'all want to ignore history. That's why I say
Okay.
that. You know,
Okay.
we couldn't even have bank accounts or credit or anything like that for a while. And we were
You
trying.
couldn't have a credit card.
And now we're not. And now when we get married because we want to and why we want to. I'm not
Nah.
saying I'm not a gold digger.
Man, I know a
I'm
lot of
gonna
women
get
get
my
married
own
knowing it's not.
You know
gold.
what's
I'm
you
gonna
know
get
what's
my own
crazy is? You know what's crazy is? The year I was born, 1981, a woman couldn't get a credit card unless her husband or father signed off on it. Now that's some Middle Eastern stuff
That's
right
why
there,
I'm
buddy.
like, take these men for all they were, girl. No, I'm just kidding.
You're not. Though.
Hey, stay smart, fellas. All right. Don't get trapped. Don't get baby trapped.
I'm just saying, if you go get a wife from Brazil, she's still gonna want your money. All right.
Yeah, but she don't know all the rules over here, so we can take advantage.
Speaking of the rules over here, can we
Stay
survive
smart, fellas.
another
Come on,
presidential election, y'all? It's election years 2024. And I don't know. We got one guy, the forerunner for the Republicans is a criminal being prosecuted right now. And the Democrats.
And I'm voting for him. Fuck it.
And the Democratic you're a black man, of course
Don't do that.
They're conservatives. And then the president that we have now, no one has faith in them because they're ageist. Y'all, can we survive this election? Who's to blame?
I think we all know who's to blame.
No.
and we're gonna talk more about it when we get to the words for white people later. But apparently it's words for all people because Sweet Feet over here talking about voting for Trump. But
Well, no,
uh,
no, I ain't say him. I
okay,
ain't say him.
um, I
I said I'm voting for you.
I don't.
I
I
ain't say
think it's if you read this article that I sent you about the new measures that have been put in place, they should have just called it the Trump bill, which is new measures put in place to prevent Congress from overturning electorates, right? So there are measures on a federal level, but at a local level, it's still open and vulnerable at these local levels. So I think that we will be all right this year because in 2022 we held back. We held people like Carrie Lake back in Arizona, which is a swing state, and she said if she was elected, there would never be another Democratic president, as far as she's concerned. So that means she's basically saying, like, if you elect me governor, I'll make sure that this state always goes red, regardless of what the people say.
Yeah.
So I think 2022 helped us a lot, but this is a very dangerous time for democracy. It just is. A few people might be able to swing the government in whichever ways they want, which is, oh my God, it's the scariest thing because it's American authoritarianism. I put it on my Facebook wall a couple weeks ago. I went on ChatGPT and asked it to describe what American authoritarianism would look like, what American fascism would look like. And guys, it wrote back, it gave me a list of things that would happen, and like half of them have already happened, which is crazy. I mean, it's
hearing about that in the words for white people because
mm,
but I think I don't know. And I honestly I'm dare I say losing interest in politics because I don't care anymore.
I never had.
I don't
I did.
I
I
don't
feel
care if you lose interest, just vote. Just
I'm
make
gonna
sure you
vote.
still
Listen,
vote. It's the
I
only
am.
thing you can do.
I am like losing.
I forgot who it was. Was it John Kerry that won the popular vote and
Oh
then
no.
lost the election? After that shit happened, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh no, that
Like
happens
that shit don't
every
mean nothing.
time. Do you
I
know who
really
else? Do you know who else won the popular vote and lost the election? Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There hasn't been a Republican to win the popular vote has only happened once in the last 40 years, and that was George W. Bush's second term after 9/11. That
Like,
was the only time.
His second term, not even his
like,
first.
like
Not
my
even his
thing
first
is-
term.
It was after 9/11, so everyone was like, "Oh, he's our hero."
That's
Like,
right. Everybody's
I
unified after
feel like
9/11.
the popular
But-
vote is the people. It's what the people voted. This who we
Right.
want, and then the motherfucker don't get it. It's like, why am I
Well,
doing? You know what I'm saying? Why am I voting? My
well,
vote
that's
don't count.
because of the electoral college, which the Republicans hang on to like it's their last lifeline, and they know it.
all right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. I am ready to get to know Sweet Feet Q. Welcome. to the
Sweet feet.
show.
I appreciate you, man. I really do.
No, I appreciate you. How long have you been doing comedy, Sweet Feet?
A little over a year. Not too long, maybe like a year and a
It
half.
has to be longer if you know Terry.
Well, Terry, when was what do you think? What
Matthews
was
has
that?
been over
That was
for over a year.
but 2022 September. That's when
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, I was still in the scene.
So
A year and a
September
half.
20th, 2022 is when I did my first stand up.
Was it
I
at
went down there.
Matthews?
It was at Matthews.
I like that she's arguing with you about the day you started.
Come on, know that? But you gonna get to know me right now. I'm gonna tell you.
Like, it's been longer than a year.
It sounds like she
Yeah,
already knows
so
you. She knows you better than you do.
2022. So right now it's 2024.
Yeah.
So this is September 2022. I do my first at Matthews. That's why I ran up on Terry. I'll tell you that story later about how that went. That shit was
I can't wait
hilarious.
to
though.
hear
Yeah, but
it. Terry.
I did that,
I've
and then I
definitely
didn't
said
do
some
I didn't
wrong
do
shit.
anything else until about March. So I did that one.
In September, and then you
Yeah,
held off.
then I
until March.
waited until March.
How did you
did
get
it
That's
back in
out.
it?
that's a very common
just-
tale, my friend.
How did you get back in it in March?
I just stopped being a bitch, pretty much.
Mhm.
Like it was
Where would you go do it?
Patong, and then that's where it just kind of start rolling from
Mhm.
there. You know, I stand up was never something that I wanted to pursue.
Okay.
What
made you do it?
I was just kind of the funny guy at all the functions, all the parties, you know what I'm saying, making everybody laugh. I'm, been making everybody laugh for life. So people always say like, man, you should do stand up. And I was like, us hanging out and talking together and me saying something funny is different than going on stage and trying to make somebody laugh.
Definitely.
So I was like, I don't think I'm that person. And then a friend of mine had his 20th year reunion, and he was like, I want you to tell some jokes at this reunion. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And then I did it, and I was like, okay. And that kind of was like, I got laughs. Like,
So that was your first time on stage.
So that was my first time on stage, actually. And then I went to Matthews Brewing Room. Like,
how did you feel after you did it there?
I felt good because Robert,
Callard.
Rob, yeah, he came up to me and he just gave me some advice. He was like, this is really your first time. Like I have public speaking experience. So I'm not stage shy. So he was like, man, your stage presence, like you've been here before, like da 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 da. I was like, nah, man.
Half the battle.
So
well, you stand in front of the worst audience in the world every day, and then kids.
Yeah, look,
that's the worst audience ever.
When I got into this, that's what I said. I was like, it wasn't really that hard to speak in front of a crowd because I was a teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
It's me. And they made me more nervous than adults, period.
But see, I teach PE, so but anyway, we'll get to that later. Anyway, but yes, I have a lot of stage experience. I have a lot of public speaking experience from growing up in church.
You did music?
I played drums. I sung in the choir. I did Easter speeches every Easter, Christmas, whatever. I worked at Jacksonville University. I was like a recruiter. I started a mentoring program there. So I had to speak at orientation in front of 200 and 300 people promoting this program. So I have no problem getting on stage. So once I got on stage and then people laughed and people thought it was funny, and Rob came up to me and gave me some advice and was just like, hey, do this and that. I said, okay, maybe I can do this. And then like I said,
come back in March
at
Petanque.
And then I just kept coming back. I had people that was encouraging me constantly. Hey man, do this. Are you going to open mics? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And I just
since
kept
you've
going.
been doing this, what has become your favorite venue to perform at?
Oh, great question.
And you can't say
the Improvs. Too easy. Everybody would say it.
Yeah, Improv. Probably Bodega. Bodega
RP Bodega.
Yeah, RP Bodega. Yeah, they gone, but they had, they had a good crowd and a crowd that was there to laugh.
Yeah.
You go to some of these bars, it's loud, people are talking all the time. Some people don't even know it's a comedy show there. Like Petanque is a tough crowd, and I liked it that, but I could say I felt like Drew Illa, shout out Drew Illa, he made it open to say whatever I wanted. Like I had
you can say anything at Petanque.
Yeah, like I had no idea, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to offend nobody at first and this and that. Like I didn't even want to say the N-word. And the first,
following Drew, you didn't want to,
right, but listen.
Drew made me want to say it again.
So when I got to Petanque, and I'm sitting there, Drew comes on and da-da, he's like, yeah, we starting, like, fuck it, I'm a nigga. I'm a da-da-da-da. I said, oh yeah, boom, perfect.
Yeah.
Like this is the right spot for me.
Don't censor your speech at Petanque. But okay, so you like Bodega, Petanque. What have you traveled at all doing comedy yet?
What do you mean by travel?
Like outside of the county or not
yes.
county, but like South Florida, outside of South Florida, or even outside of the state.
I've done a show in Titusville.
Tittiesville.
Yeah. It was it was different.
How was it different?
It's a lot of white rooms here in Palm Beach. You know what I'm saying? Redeem was a black room. It's a Jamaican restaurant that has like a stage, and
it's hard to make Jamaicans laugh. Go ahead.
So it was, it was
urban
crowd. That was like my first urban crowd, performing in front of.
And how did it go?
It went well. I got laughs, and that's when I was like, okay, I can get an urban crowd. And then I start going to Broward. Then I, start sprinkling a little bit in Dade. And I just been going, man. I go like 3 times a week. You know, I Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I kind of dedicate
Smart.
those days to comedy, and I dedicate one of those days to going down south.
All right. So what's become your favorite or proudest moment since you've started comedy?
My proudest moment was well, I got kind of two moments.
Okay.
Going to the improv for the Turkey Day contest, that was like probably my biggest crowd for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I got a great response there with my jokes. Said a couple.
That's
couple
why we
new
say you
jokes.
can't say the improv because you're gonna have a good
Right,
set
gonna
there.
have a good set.
Yeah.
But then performing for Charleston White, opening up for Charleston White. That was probably 100, 150 seat venues, packed, people were standing, and I got a lot of laughs. And that was an urban crowd, and that was something that people paid for to come see. It wasn't an open mic. And so that was just like a test, like, okay,
That's when
can
you
I
can like finally see your work, right?
right when somebody's coming to pay to see somebody else, and I'm just a guy that's there, and I got them, you know, I got them laughing pretty good. I got them going, and I felt like, all right, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you don't want them to like feel like, why did I pay for this?
Exactly.
So, what's been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
Besides being a woman.
No, not never that. Biggest challenge is getting comfortable saying your new stuff. So like I know what works with already what I have, and it's easy to just revert back
Back to that, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, this works. I'm gonna go kill this, but it's like nah, like no matter where you at, you always try to throw in something new or something that I thought of.
What I think that forces you to do that is when you go to rooms filled with comics. Like we hate performing for comics, but when I'm in front of comics, I will do new jokes all the time. I feel more comfortable because if I do my old jokes, they're gonna look at me like I'm fucking stupid, you know. So
well,
you
know, there's sweet. Sandwiching always worked for me, right? You take a joke that always worked and a joke that always worked, and you do your new stuff in between those two. That way, if it doesn't work, you got this next joke you know is going to dig you out of it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
You say you have.
Well, that's what my guy who taught me, Will Watkins, he taught me that. He's like, if you put it in the middle of two that you know work, that new joke, win or lose, you know, it's gonna be fine.
Weave it in there.
I don't have like a comedy mentor or anybody. Like I kind of use Drew. You know what I'm saying? I use Drew. I ask Drew a lot.
Drew's a good one.
You know what I mean? But like that's all. Like I don't got anybody that's been in the game for
Dom.
a minute.
You went to school with Dom, right?
Yeah, but like I didn't.
He don't really do comedy much anymore. Anyway.
But then I didn't see him until that one night I went to Swampgrass in October. So I haven't seen Dom since high school. So that's wild. 21 years ago. Okay. Last time I seen Dom. And
I started the show with Dom.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he you know,
he's in and out.
Yeah. Took a little break.
So,
but now now I know. So I'll reach out to Dom. But like I didn't have anybody. I just jumped in head first. Like I was just like, you know what? I'm just hit all these mics.
And then Rob was giving. You just got to kind of talk to the comics. You got to network when you're at the mics.
That's the biggest thing. That's what I learned. Networking, network, and actually keep in contact with these people. Yeah, because I'll get your social media or whatever, and then I won't hit you up. But like in reality, I'm looking for like guidance on like how to work this comedy scene. So I just jumped in head first. Said I'm gonna go and try to kill every room that I'm in, and just keep going and network with people. And I've been lucky to get opportunities.
So well, nobody. The thing is, people feel insecure about trying to even help somebody out or try and give you techniques and stuff like that because they feel like you're going to be like, who's this teaching me? You know what I mean? Like there's so much ego floating around comedy and stage performance. It's like you never know which one's going to be a landmine. I've tried to help some people out and they're like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm the guy that's been doing it for 11 years and you're the guy that just started. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gave me advice.
But then also.
Did I? Was it good advice or bad advice?
So
did I say anything bad? Because that's totally possible.
No. The shit to me was hilarious. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, why is he? So this is what happens, right? So Terry goes on, and Terry doing this thing. He's doing some crowd work, and he's like, "Is anybody here not a comedian?" Right? And I raised my hand because I'm not. This is my first time doing, you know what I'm saying, stand up. Yeah. Now you remember. Yeah, it's first time doing stand up. So now, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not a comedian. So he goes on, you know, so he's telling jokes and he's kind of focused on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? This nigga looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work the crowd, right? So then he gets off. I go on, you know, say a couple people after him. I go to the bar to get a drink. He's at the bar. He's like, "You told me you're not a comedian." I'm like, "I'm not, brother." I'm just like, "You lied to me." And I'm like, "What are we in a relationship?" Right?
I can explain this. It's because I went to so many open mics that were just like no audience showed up over the years.
You get excited when there's a little bit of an audience. Right?
Exactly. Over the years, and I remember one room in particular. It was at Nippers in Boca, that sports bar, and it was one of those late shows that didn't start till like 11:30, and everybody showed up to do that mic, and then it was all people I knew. It was all comics who had heard my shit multiple times, except for one dude at the bar, and I said, "Is anybody here not a comedian that has heard my stuff all the time?" And then the guy at the bar goes, "Woo!" And I said, "The show's for you." And I just walked right over to him, stood 5 feet in front of him, and did 5 minutes of my material right for him. And ever since then, if I walk into a room like that and it's a ton of people I know, I'm like, "Is anybody here not a comic?" And then I just focus on that person. And everything you say sounds exactly like stuff I would say. So if I saw you at the bar afterwards, I think I remember that of going, "You lied to me."
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna say a lot to you, bro.
All right. So real quick, tell us a little bit about you outside of comedy. Where are you from? Day job, family? Do you have any other projects, podcasts, whatever you want to talk about?
Me or Terry?
You.
Me.
You're the guest.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's right. Everybody know Terry. Yeah. Day job. I am a PE coach, and I also teach and I teach, coach, and referee. So basketball, football, girls flag. I do it all. And then I do comedy at night. So I'm coaching during the day and doing comedy at night. I'm from Jupiter, Florida. I grew up, born and raised in Jupiter. I moved to Jacksonville when I went to college. I played football. And I lived in Jacksonville for 11 years, and I moved back down here in 2016.
Ooh.
Yeah,
hate the Jaguars.
Come on. I like the Dolphins, but I've adopted the Jaguars as my team.
Oh, okay.
We going at it today, baby.
No, we're not going at it today.
1 o'clock.
I'm a Titans fan. We're going to knock you out the playoffs.
Yeah, your best players from Florida. Yeah. Yes. No, I don't got a podcast. We did a skit.
Okay, you got skits.
Yeah, did a skit. Me and Puda, shout out Puda, man. Oh, so funny on Instagram.
He's gonna be on soon.
Yeah, he's gonna be here soon. We did a skit doing the Shannon Sharp. I
can't wait.
Cat Williams, but we calling out Pompano comedians. So some comedians that know in Pompano. So just like Cat Williams did with that, we calling out Pompano comedians.
I love it.
Shots fired. We on your ass. we waiting for the.
We on your ass.
Is it posted? I can't wait.
Yeah, it's posted. I'm about to actually post the full video right now. We got a clip up.
All right.
Small.
I'll make sure you give out your socials after we. Where you going? Oh, okay. We'll play the blame game when he gets back.
What? Where's he going?
He had to pee.
Oh.
All that beer.
All right. Well.
I was like, oh my God, what was their first meeting gonna be like?
Who? Oh, yeah. Between me and him? Yeah, because it could have been anything. It could have been anything.
No, I know, boy. I know. Rubbing people wrong.
I do. Sometimes I do. That's hey.
He hates Terry.
You know what it is? I'm like a deep tissue massage. Some people love me, some people hate me, but there's nobody who has no opinion. You know what I mean? Either you love me or you hate me.
Not if they know you.
Well, yeah. So you got to let me grow on you like a good fungus.
Yeah.
Takes time. Well, now we just got dead air.
I know.
Well, let's go back to something then.
We could talk about
Which is the
I
Epstein
think he's on
thing.
his way back. I was gonna say we could talk about Dave Chappelle, but we'll save that for next week, I guess.
Have you watched his new special on Netflix? Of course, yes.
I'm a powerful dreamer, Terry.
Hey, listen, I think that Dave Chappelle is a phenomenal comedian. However, I think he used to be a phenomenal comedian, and now he's a great inspirational leader because I think he's become more of like a lead, like yeah. Well, he just inspire. A lot of his stuff is just, he's
Yeah.
he's
The way
like
I'm a powerful dreamer.
yeah, like
Inspiring.
he's comedy's MLK now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm
He's out
trying
here
to
trying to.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
We got our guest back.
We back. We
Are
like.
you ready to play the blame game, Sweet Pea?
Oh yeah. Play bang game.
Oh my God, you were.
Let's play the blame game. I love you. Yeah. John Legend. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, y'all ain't know I had a little voice. We doing karaoke.
No, we
tonight.
didn't know you knew the song.
That's all it was. I didn't know you knew
Come
the song. I didn't say that about your voice.
Versatile.
All right.
All right.
You performed with Charleston White, and we talked about him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, he said after that performance you had with him, he said he'd be raping his woman. So who's to blame? Did you?
Why you had to bring up rape? I
think he brought up the rape.
Yeah. He brought up the rape. It was definitely an experience. Seeing somebody that you see on Instagram that has a bunch of followers and has meeting them, off camera I want to say he's a lot different, but he's not coming at it. Like on camera, he's a personality. Like he really has like a message behind what he's saying. He really wants to get people attention. And even though he's doing it in a crazy way, like I understand from talking to him off camera, like what it's about. And he said a little bit on the Cam Newton podcast about, when I was rocking a bow tie, listening to me, but now I talk like one of these ignorant rappers. Now everybody's listening. So it's I think, some of it's a front. It's just to get attention.
Yeah, because it's like, who would say that?
Right. And it's working. We're talking about it right now.
I didn't really know who he was. I knew him because you performed with him and posted about him. That's how I found out who he was. And then weeks later that happened and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's not a comedian.
Okay.
But people just think that he's funny because all these live videos that he does and he just talks reckless.
Yeah, some people, that's how they find their path into comedy. But some of them you will see will actually do comedy, like Fat and Funny does material.
Right.
I remember when he started, he was funny online, but now he's like, he's a comedian. He's doing comedy. So not all those social media comics are just like personalities and can't do material. But I'm all like saying like acting like Charleston. I've never seen his stand up. Maybe he does do material, but
yeah, he kind of just tells stories about things that just happen in life. Like he's not a comic. Yeah. Not at all. He's just chasing a check.
All right. So do you want to give out your socials, promote?
I ain't getting involved in this black people shit. I'm staying out of it.
Promote any upcoming shows.
No, I want to hear Terry Wayne. I see you. I don't know if you was writing, you was doing something, we were talking about it, but do you know who Charleston White is? Like, have you seen him? Or you just...
We talked about it on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just making a joke.
Yeah, bro.
I'll talk about him all day. I'll talk about him all day.
I feel like he's chasing a check and he's talking reckless and getting people attention. So he feel like, hey,
Cat Williams, I'm just saying.
Yeah, let me continue to do that.
All right.
But
do you have anything you want to promote? Shows, social media?
Promote, yes. Sweet Feet. Sweet Feet Q is the name on Instagram. You guys can find me there. Also have YouTube that I promote comedy on. We are starting our own open mic / show. Our first show is January 13th. It's It's at a private location. You gotta email myself or Puda to get the address. This is about a 45 to 50 seat venue. We got hookahs. We're gonna have food. It's a vibe. It's if you ever seen us at stand up, you see how we vibe, or you didn't vibe with us, you know how we get down, you know how we hang out. It's gonna be a great time. Definitely check us out on that. Also on January 27th, we back at G5 with Pookie F Baby sponsoring the show. So if you're in Miami, check out G5. It's a good venue, have a nice stage, beautiful women there as well. And then working on something for the 3rd Thursday of February in Oakland Park. I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, man.
And if they want to catch that, your skit,
catch my skit, Sweet Feet Q, on Instagram. You can also look at South Florida Puda, so SF Puda on Instagram. And Instagram today, I will have the whole set up. Right now, we just put some little stories out, some little snippets, but we'll have the whole set up today. You can find that on Sweet Feet Q on Instagram. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
All right. Well, this next segment you don't really have to listen to because it's Terry Wayne's words for white people. Although I think,
no, it's words for all people now.
He changed it because there's something you said earlier. Okay, Terry Wayne's words for all people.
Yeah.
For all people. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We change it up, man. Sometimes it's words for gay people. Sometimes it's words for whoever. Like we change it up. It's all inclusive. And the word of the week is domestic abuse, right? And by that, I mean the 14th Amendment, right? It'll make sense in a second. The 14th Amendment is under big discussion right now because they're saying Trump shouldn't legally be on the ballot, that he's violating the Constitution by being on the ballot because of all he's done to overturn the 2020 election. Now, a lot of people are pointing at the insurrection on January 6th as an example of this. I don't think that's a good example at all. Not a good example at all, because A, he wasn't there. He may have incited people to go there, but he wasn't there. What I do think is a great example of is I need you to find me 11,400 and some odd votes. That's all we need. Now, that's pretty obvious when it comes straight from the horse's mouth that I'm trying to overturn this election, which is also considered insurrection against the United States. So yes, I do think that he shouldn't be on the ballot. I do think that we are violating the Constitution, and I hope the Supreme Court upholds that. However, there are a lot of people on the Republican side that would like to just ignore this, or in some cases have flat out said they'd just like to change it. Change the Constitution for one guy. Let me tell you something. To anybody who believes that, you sound like a battered housewife, okay? He doesn't really love you. He doesn't. The relationship is not what you think it is, okay? Your relationship is toxic, and he is using you for his own ends, and he will continue to hurt you as long as you let him. You need to get out of this relationship. You need to let him go and face his consequences, and just put Nikki Haley on the ballot. She'll probably win, and I'm fine with that. But whoever believes that, you need to get out of this relationship. He doesn't love you like you think he does. Domestic abuse.
Oh, that was so funny.
Bruh.
That was funny.
That was pretty good.
And it's a good comparison.
Just saying.
Like battered wives, they really do. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
If I think Haley, she shouldn't win because she wouldn't even say that.
Move out the trailer. He's not going to stop hitting you. It's not going to stop.
Okay. Well, Terry, you want to promote anything?
Just the book, Unclaimed Ashes, on Amazon right now. Get your copy for 2024.
All right. I got some shows coming up on the West Coast, not this week, but next week. And I'll get you some more details. But I think one is on Wednesday in Punta Gorda. No.
Is it going to Dominican Republic?
No, not Punta Gorda. It's in somewhere on the West Coast near Tampa.
Well, if you're there, Punta's definitely there. So
come on.
That's
a bad Punta, right? And then And then I'm in Fort Myers that Saturday, so I'll get y'all the
Oh,
dates
she
next
out
week.
of town, out of town. Booked it busy.
Sometimes.
Okay.
So, all right. Until the next then, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Back to space.